Props.
The leg is better. Good morning. Happy Cyber Monday.
It is Cyber Monday, isn't it?
It is Cyber Monday.
Right?
We're not going to be talking about buying electronics or anything like that. We're going to dig into how you can win some more business, maybe sell some more homes with down payment assistance during the winter here, right? We got to do something to spark some activity, get some transactions flowing. So we'll dig into that. Ryan's doing his Cyber Monday shopping, as you can see there. We'll dig into that. We are going to do a little bit of motivation, a little bit of marketing, and then let everybody get off to a great start for the week. If this is your first time watching the show, or your 1,000th, we haven't had 1,000 shows, so that's an exaggeration. But if you've watched 1, 10, or 100, and you haven't subscribed yet, for crying out loud, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe to the channel and smack the bell so that you don't miss live sessions like this. We took the week off last week, but there was some good stuff that got dropped, and had some great conversations with folks that had watched the session that Jordan and I did. Some great feedback on Ryan's List to Exist end-to-end real estate niche operating system training, as well as my weekly email newsletter process and saga, whatever. So good stuff last week, regardless of the fact that we were all trying to recharge a little bit. A quick little motivation or mindset Monday tip. This from John Gordon. I love John Gordon. Great author. And I don't know, if you're feeling down, just look up John Gordon's Instagram account, and it shouldn't last long. He says, abundance flows into your life when gratitude flows out of your heart. Abundance flows into your life, gratitude flows out of your heart. I try to start either before I go to bed or when I wake up. One of the first things I do is just list out some things that I was grateful for the last 24 hours. If you focus more, what you focus on expands. So focus on the good you have and the good that you want, and you'll get more of that more often than not. So
I'm rereading Richard Dawkins' Letting Go for a book motivation recommendation today. But there's a good line in there. He talks about how you can't have anxiety and gratitude at the same time. So if you're grateful for something and you're expressing gratitude, you can't be anxious.
I want to prove him wrong.
George's like, I'll stress test this theory.
We'll start doing mortgages, and I bet.
Yeah.
Seriously. Ryan, do you have a social post of the day for today?
I do. Let's just, it's Mortgage Monday. I did a little video screencast-o-matic deal here where I pointed to the FHA rates a year ago, exactly 1 year ago today, and then today, and then the rates today. A little text there about how they've come down. They're not much higher than they were a year ago. I mean, they're still higher, but I think the word on the street is that rates have come up a lot, and they actually have come back down a fair amount, right, Jordan?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's what
I had no idea. It's that. I mean, that's not that much different 12 months to now. I mean, that's well,
no, we're sitting pretty good. I mean, it's not, it's and that it goes into the DPA, right? And why we're talking about it today. But I had no idea that would happen, but that's a perfect jumping off point for the topic today. Ryan did a great job of teeing it up for us. Ryan, were you about to say something?
I was just gonna say, you can go to my Facebook profile and grab the video if you want to repost this, or just hit a share the actual video file. I think you could do that. You just grab the video. But yeah, that's all.
Yeah, right on. And say again, how did you make that video?
Screencast-o-matic or ScreenPal, any screencasting software. I just went to Mortgage News Daily and took a little video. You can go grab a screenshot. That's one of our favorite mortgage rate sites there, the mortgagenewsdaily.com.
Yep. Lowe says, date the rate, marry the home. And it really, I know it's been said, lots of real estate and mortgage professionals are saying that over and over and over, but it is real in the sense that because of rates being higher and the time of year, buyers have more negotiating power than they've had in a long time. So they can negotiate a better price, or maybe negotiate some seller help, or even a seller gift of equity, even though they may have a quote unquote higher rate than they could have had 18 months ago, they can lock in better terms up front, terms that they can't change over time, right? They can't a year from now they can't renegotiate or refi to a smaller purchase price, but they can refi to a better rate. So there is definitely something to that. And I think Lowe is still glowing from Michigan's win on Saturday over the.
I'm still waiting on my hat. He's supposed to be sending me a Michigan hat. Still waiting on it.
Still waiting on it, Jordan. You might be waiting a long time. Who knows? Anyway, that Ryan's social post of the day. Perfect transition into down payment assistance because it ties perfectly with FHA. We've mentioned it a few times here as well. FHA has there's been some changes on FHA, which makes it for a number of reasons, and in many cases, a better option for clients. And again, now that there's less competing, you can
FHA is more likely to be
of getting an FHA accepted than you did a year ago. So there's a lot of factors in favor here. But you and I, Jordan, talked a few times last week about some down payment assistance programs and options, and why is that a great opportunity right now? In some business.
So we kind of had a catch-22 in the last, 18 months when rates have been rising, right? As rates rise, banks are always set up to win. They'll always be set up to win, And what they were doing is on DPA programs, they were essentially attaching points, points to get the rate. They weren't offering any rates that were par, right? Which really defeats the purpose of a DPA, right? Why are you? Go ahead.
Well, just for those that don't understand, what that means is the loan costs more. So somebody has to pay for it somewhere.
Yeah. To get that X rate, they're going to charge 2% or whatever. The bank will say, hey, to get this DPA program, you need to pay, we'll give it to you, but you need to, essentially pay 2% more in closing costs. And a lot of times,
significant.
Yeah. It defeats the purpose almost.
Right.
Almost. So if you can get seller concessions, it can outweigh it. But it made it harder, right? Another 2% in seller concessions is a lot of money, depending on the house price point. And so with rates dropping the way they are, they're par again. We have par rates again. So DPAs are much easier to qualify for, number one. There's going to be less closing costs that are needed if they're wanting truly to come down with $0. And it also allows, there are 5% options for DPAs that will pay part of closing costs as well. It allows those to be, when you're attaching points to those, there's no point, right? If you're taking that 5% and then also having to pay points on top of it, you're defeating the purpose. So they're more logical to do now with rates dropping.
So let's make this very tangible for everyone. So it has now become more there's more opportunity to actually not just sell a DPA, but actually use a DPA, right?
Correct.
Down payment assistance can be a great hook to create conversations, to get interested borrowers to engage with you. But the reality is it was very difficult to make the numbers work. And it was really, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, or whatever that cliche is, right? That's not the case right now. Because rates have come down and because of some other factors at play, it means that A, down payment assistance can be used at the same cost, and B, theoretically, you can help someone buy a home with very little out of pocket. So Jordan's scenario, FHA. So let's say they're doing 3.5% down. Okay, so LTV 96.5, and we're able to use a 5% down payment assistance. So that 5% will cover the 3.5 and 1.5% of closing costs. And let's also say that because of the time of year and just generally speaking, demand has come down some, and there's just not as much activity during the holidays. You negotiate 3, 4, 5, maybe even the full 6% seller help, which you probably can't even use all of that in this scenario. There maybe not even a reason.
You can figure it out. I can use it. I can figure it out.
Yeah. But the point is, you may be able to help a borrower to get into a home, and their only out of pocket might be an appraisal if they get a home.
Yeah, I mean, if it depends on how much they get, but they would typically get we would refund their appraisal and refund their earnest money. Like I have that where I have right now I help someone structure a file where we did get seller help on a 5% deal. They only got $3,000 in help.
Yeah.
It was about a $200,000 house, but they're coming up with $13. When I say coming up with $13, that means they're getting refunded earnest money, refunded appraisal. I typically will, tell loan officers, go ahead and structure those, getting those back, because you might as well ask for it. If you don't get it, you can always reduce it.
Yep.
And so that's what they did.
And so this morning, I haven't talked about this in a while, but I've gotten permission from a bunch of my local builders to promote their homes, to promote their listings, right? Listings are a great way to attract potential clients. And this morning I found one. I don't know how I didn't. It's been on the market for, I don't know, a couple of months, but I hadn't seen it before for one reason or another. It's 424,000 and is a perfect opportunity. The builder is motivated, so we can negotiate seller help. And it's in a price range that would fit perfectly with down payment assistance. So I could help first-time buyers potentially buy this brand new home in a great school district with virtually nothing out of pocket. That is how you proactively go and try and create business and get yourself some clients and help folks realize the dream of home ownership versus just waiting for stuff to fall into your lap. And so look, if nothing else, use this as an opportunity to go and find those opportunities in your market where it might fit, A, and B, use it as an opportunity to personally follow up, reach out to the old, unengaged, tired leads in your database, and not just for them, but who do they know, right? Do you know any first-time home buyers that might be interested in getting some down payment assistance to buy a home? Jordan, go ahead.
They don't have to be first-time home buyers. So, yes, there are certain DPA programs that require first-time home buyers. There are ones that are better interest rates or, things like that. Usually, let me put it this way. First-time home buyers, they allow to forego income limits and forego certain restrictions.
Okay.
Where second home buyers, they might have a certain DTI restriction, but that doesn't mean they don't qualify, right? It doesn't mean that we can't get them something. So whether they're first time home buyers or second or whatever, we still want to be able to talk to them to say, hey, what bucket do they fit in under DPA?
Jordan, when you say first time home buyers, do you mean truly have never owned a home before, or are we using the
last
first time
3
home
years?
buyer? Exactly.
Last 3 years.
Right?
If they haven't owned a home in the last 3 years. So you fall right back into the bucket of first time home buyer if you've not owned a home in the last 3 years.
Yeah. So Jordan and I are going to be doing a deeper dive on FHA and down payment assistance, and we'll maybe even have some scenarios. And maybe, Jordan, it'll be useful. I can the listing that I talked about, we could actually do a breakdown of that and even talk about how can we create financing specific marketing around that. I think that would be helpful for everybody. We're going to be doing that tomorrow at 1 Eastern. Tomorrow at 1 Eastern, we'll get the link. I don't even have the link live for that, but we'll make sure that we get that posted on social and on the wakeup.real estate site, and we'll get it. If not live streamed on the Wake Up channel, it'll be there after the fact. We're going to do a deeper dive into that, maybe get into some specifics, and it would be great if you're listening and you're interested. Bring questions or scenarios to that, because I think that oftentimes is what's the most relevant and useful for the masses is, I've got this specific scenario. How might that help? Or how might we be able to use a down payment assistance program in that situation or scenario? And then, Jordan, you even had some specific lenders that we were working with that we can talk about tomorrow as well, that are just really simple and easy to get folks qualified and
yeah, there's a few. It depends if they're a first time home buyer or not, but yeah, at the end of the day, if they're a first time home buyer, it's pretty much a standard FHA loan.
Yeah.
Right? It's forgivable and repayable options. We'll go over that. We'll what's the difference, how long you have to wait that out, which in this market we probably are not gonna, you're gonna pretty much repay it back no matter what, because interest rates are dropping. They're gonna want to refinance. So I'm prepping all of the clients for that. It's, hey, you got to make sure that over the next year you're putting enough money on the house, or and especially thinking that, okay, let's say rates do drop, most likely we're going to have a appraisals, or it's going to be harder, or get at least more competitive, right? In the terms of market, and they might just have the equity position to go ahead and refinance.
Lo says DPA would be a great option for renters who are on the fence. Absolutely. And that's why I said, and even put in the title, like, it can help you win more business right now. If there are either folks that you had previously had pre-approved or showed houses to, or even written offers, and it didn't work out for whatever reason, going back to them, or strategically targeting existing renters, and talking about how, basically presenting them the question, right? Would you be interested in buying a home if we could show you how to do it with very little money out of pocket? That's just one off the cuff, and we'll come up with some better examples and scenarios for tomorrow's session. But this definitely is an opportunity to put some transactions in the pipeline during a time where it, for at least in certain markets, can get a little slow as the temperatures drop, and sometimes we're dealing with crummy weather, etc. There's still opportunity out there, but you got to be proactive and try and facilitate putting those together. And in fact, basically, most of the rest of the year, we're going to focus on different ways that you can be more proactively, trying to transaction engineer, right? Engineer transactions more proactively. And this week, we're going to focus on FHA and DPA. And next week, I want to talk a little bit about DSCR and putting together, sort of turnkey deals for investors. Yeah, Ryan's rubbing it in.
I know. Yeah.
You said crappy. I was looking for the crappy weather you were talking about. I just couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, very funny. Very funny.
Well,
anyway,
that said though, if you are in markets that don't have crappy weather, things can pick up with people coming in from out of town, as a lot of you in Florida know, Arizona. So this messaging works just the same.
And regardless of the time of year, regardless of the market, regardless of every condition, there are always people who want or need your services, basically, who want or need your help and services. It's a matter of presenting, messaging, and being proactive about how you can help them, and what reason they should use you versus any old real estate agent or mortgage professional in some way, shape, or form.
So tomorrow, Josh, for Texting Tuesday, we do something around this, but I'll also design a postcard to go to renters using Thanks with this messaging, and maybe we'll do a text call. Since it's Texting Tuesday, we'll do a text response.
Right. Yeah, I love that. And Mike, if you could, I know we've had several variations around this idea, special financing, down payment assistance, et cetera, that have worked really well as a text and an email script. So we'll pull those together for those that are interested. We already have proof in the pudding with some of those, so we might as well not reinvent the wheel. Let's use what we already know has worked and can work for folks. So Texting Tuesday tomorrow, Ryan alluded to that. He's also going to put together a postcard for those that want to strategically market to renters and take advantage of that niche audience. Not take advantage of, present your services as an option to folks that might be interested. And then at 1 Eastern tomorrow, Jordan and I are going to do a deep dive on FHA and DPA. We'll run some different scenarios, etc. On Wednesday, we have a special guest. We're gonna start on Wednesdays bringing on guests who are having success, realtors and or mortgage pros that are succeeding in the market today, and have them talk about what's working. Exactly. So Daphne, who is an agent in my EXP organization in Georgia, she's going to come on and be our first guest for that. talking about, I'm guessing we're going to talk about video because she is having a lot of success with her YouTube channel and even with short form video content. And then Thursday, we have another guest. We're going to start bringing on guests for tech tips on Thursday. I have none other than Scott Pierce with Listings to Leads, who will be joining us on Thursday to talk about that platform.
Wow, while I was drinking last week constantly on a cruise ship and getting pickled, you were working. Thank you.
Yeah, I was thinking strategically. I'm trying to think about how we can bring more value to everyone here and grow the channel, grow the community, and help more agents and mortgage pros. Last thing before we wrap up, if you have a client or clients that you'd like to explore down payment assistance scenarios or anything, for that matter on the financing side, you can text HELP, HELP, or you can honestly text anything to 888-403-MORT, 888-403-6678, and we'll get you in touch. Michael get you pointed in the right direction. It might be me, it might be Jordan, it might be somebody else, depending on what your question or what the need is. And then Jordan, one last thing that I think is being announced this week, the update to the loan limits.
Mm-hmm.
Is that this week? So we'll have details on that. But when we're talking about FHA and down payment assistance, some people immediately assume that it's like, oh, that only works on really, really low loan limits. That's not necessarily the scenario, right? So don't just assume that because
I want to say FHA. It depends on the county, right? More than anything. So if you don't know what it is, then I can always get that for you, or Josh can get it for you. We can search the county. But they're about to come up with new limits, and they are increasing the limits. They did increase conventional, which we're already running with the conventional ones. I think conventional is like 723 or something at the lowest county. Let me clarify. That is in the middle of nowhere in Kansas. Okay. Not in, Los Angeles or, higher county limits. 9 times out of 10, most area, I guess most people I work with is usually higher counties, not the lowest ones.
So we've got lots of good stuff on deck for you this week. I didn't even mention on our Wednesday mastermind, I'm going to be talking about our Christmas light display from a marketing perspective and using that to engage with your existing database and get some social media traction and create some conversations. So we'll dig into that on Wednesday as well. Lots of good stuff this week. As always, if you need anything, if you have questions, if you can't find a resource that we've mentioned, whatever the case may be, you can go to wakeup.realestate, use the little chat widget, bottom right, and Mike will get that to you. Hopefully, we'll see you all tomorrow. Texting Tuesdays are at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Eastern, half an hour early. And then sometime this afternoon, we'll get the link all set up for the info session that Jordan and I will be doing in the afternoon. Ryan, were you thinking there? Was the time? I don't know. I saw the gears turning.
Oh no, I have to adjust my schedule, but I'll be there just in the nick of time. I got it.
Perfect. Beautiful. All right, Jordan, thanks. Thank you all for spending some time on a Monday. Let's make it a great week.
All right, see you guys.